Okay, I'm going to go with you today the countries that have the lowest corporate tax rate of any country in the world. Now, there's some things that you're going to have to take in consideration, and that is some of these countries that have low corporate tax rates might not have real low individual tax rates. So you have to look at that because you're going to, at some point, you're going to be pulling the money out. And then what sort of tax bracket are you going to have individually and not just the corporation? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you just the corporate tax rate. If you're interested in going further on this and want to learn more on individual tax rates, we can work with you on that. We work with people, high income people that make at least 150,000 US dollars a year, or you have to have a net worth at least 1 million to work with us. And what we do is concentrate on getting people's income taxes legally to zero, or how to get a second passport as quick as 4 to 8 months. Now, after I go through these that have the lowest corporate tax rates, then I'm going to go through the ones that have zero corporate tax rate. And one thing I want to bring out too, there are certain countries in here you can get your taxes to zero that have high corporate tax rates. And let me give you an example. One of them is St. Kitts. St. Kitts and Nevis have a real high corporate tax rate, one of the highest in the world at 33%. It used to be 35%, now it's 33%. But they don't require you to actually set one up if you're coming in as a citizen. Now, if you're coming in and you're coming here for, let's say you're not a citizen, you're basically coming in and just wanting to set up a company, it will come under the Company Act and you will have to set up a corporation. The best way to do it is to get citizenship in St. Kitts, and you actually bypass having to set up a corporation. You can come in and set up what's called an unincorporated business. It's only like a 4% business tax, and there's a big deduction before that kicks in. So anyway, so you can get your taxes to zero without, even with high corporations. It just depends on, even with a high corporate tax rate, it depends on the actual country and how that country works. Now, one thing I want to mention to you too is these countries that have maybe zero corporate tax rate, they get you in other ways. So, they can have really high licensing fees. Like the Cayman Islands has very high licensing fees when you go there to work. So these are some things that you have to look at also. So now, one other thing I want to tell you too is when you go to these countries, whatever country you pick, I would advise you, I'm going to tell you some shortcuts that'll keep you from having to make a lot of international moves. And that is pick a country where you can get the passport. Okay? Even if you don't want the passport, go and pick a country that you can possibly get the passport. The reason you want to do this, and it has a language that you speak. Otherwise, you're going to have to learn that language, which makes even more hurdles to get that through. And the reason you want this is a lot of these countries will not let you work in the country in specific fields unless you have citizenship. Okay. So, and I have a lot of people that go to these countries, they switch businesses in what they're doing, even if they're self-employed. So you need to make sure that you're going to a country, speaks your language, allows dual citizenship, just for working purposes. These are things you need to look for, and make sure that that language that you speak is spoken in this country. If you don't do it, it's going to make it a lot harder to get the passport. You're going to waste a lot of time. Also, folks, if you can do us a big favor, we do not monetize this channel. So, it would help in the algorithm of our channel here. If you would like our video, give us a thumbs up. And also, if you want to get new videos like this automatically, hit the subscribe button at the right of your screen right here. You get new videos automatically as they come out. And I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, just put it below. All right, let's look at the countries now. I'm going to start from the very lowest and work up. Now, some of these countries have dictatorships like Turkmenistan. But it actually has the lowest corporate tax rate before you hit the zero rates, and that's at 8%. Barbados is at 9%. Now, let me tell you something real quick about Barbados. It's one of the best I'm going to bring out here because Barbados has really good visa-free travel, allows dual citizenship, free elections. You can get your taxes to zero because it has a non-dom system. Their visa-free travel is better than St. Kitts and Nevis. They don't have a fast-track program, so it'll take you several years to get the passport. But it's a great place to set up a business, really good weather. The next one on here is Hungary, which is in Europe. That's 9% rate. You got the UAE, which is in Asia at 9%. Andorra's at 10%. That's in Europe. Bosnia and Herzegovina is in Europe, and that's at 10%. And you got Bulgaria in Europe at 10%. Republic of Kosovo, which is in Europe, that's at 10%. Kyrgyzstan is in Asia, and that's at 10%. Paraguay's at 10%. That's in South America. Qatar's in Asia. That's at 10%. And then you've got the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia, and that's in Europe, and that's at 10%. Timor-Leste is in the Oceania region, and that's at 10%. And then you've got China, the Macau Special Administration region, that's at 12%. So they're kind of inching up now, and that's in Asia. And then you got the Republic of Moldova, which is at 12%. Cyprus is in Europe, and that's at 12.5%. Ireland's in Europe, and that's at 12.5%. Liechtenstein is at 12.5%. Albania, which is in Europe, is at 15%. They're going up a little bit further, and Georgia is at 15% in Asia. Now, let me tell you something about Georgia while we're at it. Georgia doesn't allow dual citizenship, but it does have a territorial tax system. So if your business is done outside the country, you can get income tax-free outside the country. If they become an EU member, they're probably going to have to end that. But I think that Georgia is questionable whether they're actually going to get that membership anyway, because they really don't have free elections from what I'm reading. So if that doesn't straighten out, they will not become an EU member. Ireland's another one, which I just mentioned at 12.5%. Got a great, it's kind of like Barbados. It's got a non-dom system. You can get your taxes to zero. They tax you on remittance income. A lot of visa-free countries. This is one of the good ones here. And you can get the passport. It's English speaking. These are the things you want to be looking for. Now, there's countries without general corporate tax rate. This is what I'm bringing out to you for 2024. Now, these all have, again, zero corporate tax rates. Now, most of these are going to replace it with something, like I said, with, high visa fees or high licensing fees. But, if you're a high income earner, this is a great way to get your taxes close to zero or at zero, okay? Now, Anguilla, and also Anguilla doesn't have an income tax. Now, Anguilla is number one on here. Bahamas is second. Bahrain is another one. All of these, again, don't have a corporate income tax. Belize is another one. This is a great one here because Belize allows dual citizenship. Pretty easy to get the passport, English-speaking country. Bahrain, you can forget that. That's almost impossible to get the passport. Bahamas, you're going to have to give up all your other passports. They don't allow dual citizenship, which is one thing I would avoid. Bermuda, it would take you years and years and years to get the passport. A lot better options than Bermuda. But Bermuda doesn't have a corporate income tax. British Virgin Islands is another one. Very hard to get the passport. It'll take you probably 20, 25 years to get the passport. Cayman Islands is another one. Cayman Islands has a consolidated residency by investment program. You can apply for the passport after about 5 years, but you have to invest in property of over $2 million US. There are a lot better deals and options than the Cayman Islands. St. Kitts is one of them. Guernsey is another one. It doesn't have a corporate income tax. It's in Europe. Isle of Man's in Europe. This is another one. Jersey, which is another one in Europe. St. Bart's, which is that's actually not too far from St. Kitts. I can almost see it on a clear day, and it's a French territory. You would have to get you would have to speak French to actually get the passport. Tokelau is another one in Oceania. Doesn't have a corporate income tax. Turks and Caicos Islands in North America. It's actually they got here in North America, but it's in the Caribbean. And this is a neat place. It's very difficult to get things done there. I actually moved there for a real short period. Couldn't get a damn thing done. Slowest place I've ever been in my life. But they got some Grace Bay. It's just incredible how pretty some of the beaches are there. And it's real close to the U.S. No corporate income tax, which makes it real nice. It is a British overseas territory. You get this passport in this country, you can get a British passport after so many years. Next one is Vanuatu. It doesn't have a corporate income tax. It also has a fast track program you can get. One of the cheapest. In fact, right now it is the only fast track program that has the cheapest rate, but you will not have visa free to the Schengen countries. So if this is your only passport, you're going to be getting visas everywhere you go. Another one doesn't have a corporate income tax is Wallis and Futuna Islands. That's in the Oceania region, just like Vanuatu is. They're all pretty close to each other. If you want to know more on this, folks, how to legally get your income taxes to zero, how to get a second passport as quick as 4 to 8 months, do 3 things. Hit the subscribe button at the right of your screen right here. And if you like our videos, give us a thumbs up. It helps, again, our algorithm of our channel. If you want to do anything for us, folks, this is how you can help us out a lot. And I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, put it below. And go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and just ask for some help. And I look forward to talking to you on the next video. Take care.